Hey everyone, what is going on? So we have another showcase for you today in the Ultra Premier Cup, and these are my battles I did on stream, and I did so well. It's like I can't stop winning with this team. It's just so powerful. Now, it's not like a unique team or anything. These are all meta Pokemon, but it's so powerful. And it is XL, keep that in mind. But we do have Jellicent in the lead with Scrafty and Alola Ninetales. So Alola Ninetales has Powder Snow. Now, if you happen to have the Shadow Alola Ninetales, I would probably recommend that one. I like the Shadow version, but I don't have it. I have one for the Great League. Never got a good one for the Ultra League. I don't have enough XLs to build another one anyway. But no, it's just such a powerful team because you'll see, even if, you say, the safe swap is going to be Alola Ninetales, but even if they respond with a Fire type, you'll see it later in this video. I mean, with Powder Snow, you're still doing well against the Charizard, right? So, yeah, let's go ahead and dive right into the battles and see what we got going on for us. I cannot make it to another move. I'm going to give up Switch there. And I'm going to be able to bring in my Scrafty and count it down. I know they're not running a Dazzling Gleam because they use Side Shock, right? So this is going to be a Weather Ball. So I'm going to be able to count it down. I do lose Switch, which is not great, but in comes Swampert. I'm going to be able to throw this Power Up Punch, just start boosting up my attack. We survive Hydro Cannons, we survive an Earthquake, so I'm going to boost up my attack. My opponent is going to go ahead and throw the Hydro. Just going to let it go right now. And it will get us pretty low. We don't survive another one, and I know we would have CMP'd if I threw the Foul Play, so I'm not going to throw the Foul Play immediately. I'm going to go ahead and shield one, and I'm going to throw the Foul Play, but I'm going to charge up just before. Actually, no, never mind. I threw the Power Punch. I think I meant to throw the Foul Play, but I threw the Power Punch because I thought they were going to shield it. So that's really unfortunate for me. Now I'm going to go ahead and commit a shield and count it down this Swampert, but my opponent actually switches into Jellicent. So I'm going to be able to throw this Foul Play into the Jellicent. I do want to get to one more Foul Play after this, and my opponent is going to go ahead and shield, and there we are. We do have another Foul Play. So this is going to do a lot of damage, and then what I'm going to do is switch into Alola Ninetales. My opponent is out of shield, so we don't have to worry about that. We just have to go for the Dazzling Gleam. We survive another Shadow Ball. If they debuff us, we survive that, right? Obviously, this would still KO even if we're debuffed. I'm going to go ahead and throw this Dazzling Gleam. That is going to be enough to KO. Swampert is coming in. Swampert is so low, though. My opponent will be able to get off a Hydro Cannon, which will be enough to KO me, but one counter is going to finish off the Swampert, and we're going to be able to take that game. And that's going to be a great game. Very well played to my opponent. Let's go ahead and move into the next one. Jellicent into Galarian Stunfisk. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. I mean, we have the bubble. And my opponent will switch out. I'm going to bring in Alola Ninetales, and my opponent actually going to concede that game. So, good game. I guess they didn't feel comfortable or confident winning that one. Good game. Let's go ahead and move into the next battle. We do have Jellicent into Pidgeot. Now, this is why I have Bubble as well as Ice Beam. Same reason I have it is for Scrafty as well, but mainly for the Pidgeot. Now, my opponent is continuing to form up. They actually let me get off an Ice Beam first before they throw an attack. I'm a little bit surprised with that, but my opponent's shield's afraid of the Ice Beam. Makes sense. I get it. So my opponent is going to go ahead and throw an attack. I'm going to take it. I don't expect a Brave Bird, and if they did a Brave Bird, I would survive it and threaten to KO, or would KO with this Ice Beam. I'm going to go ahead and throw the Ice Beam, and my opponent will let it go. Does decent amount of damage. I do want to get to another one, but of course I'm not going to be able to. Do I let this one go? Do I shield this one? I decide to shield it. Going to be that Brave Bird. Very nice on my end. And this is going to be another Brave Bird, so I decide to commit the shields. And I'm going to go ahead and do just that, and it is a Brave Bird. My opponent going to go ahead and switch into their own Jellicent, but I could throw this Shadow Ball, which is super effective towards their Jellicent. My opponent will let it go. When I threw that, I kind of forgot that I was double debuffed, so a little bit of a mistake maybe on my end, because it doesn't do as much, obviously, because of that. But that is okay. It's still decent damage, and I could bring in the Scrafty, and my opponent is also running Ice Beam. I'm going to go ahead and throw this Foul Play, and now I can just count it down. Yes, they will get to another Ice Beam, but I could still counter this all the way down because I do survive another Ice Beam. And the counters are going to be heavily resisted, double resisted, so I will get a good amount of farm. Pidgeot coming in. I'm going to go ahead and go for the Foul Play. I don't anticipate the shield. I want to make sure it KOs. And it will KO, and in comes Swampert, so I'm going to go ahead and get off another Foul Play. So let's see if my opponent decides to shield this, or if they let this one go. My opponent is going to let that go. I switch into Jellicent. My opponent I'm pretty confident they have to go for Earthquake, right? I mean, a Hydro Cannon is not going to KO me. So that my opponent will go for that. And now we're looking pretty good because the Alolan Ninetales survives an Earthquake. It also survives a Hydro Cannon, so I'm going to bring in the Ninetales right now. And I'm going to go ahead and take this attack. And let's see what it is. Even an Earthquake. It is an Earthquake. I can take that. And my opponent has 2 shields, right? Well, not 2 shields. They have 1 shield, so they have a shield advantage. So I have to get that shield with Weather Ball, and I do get that shield. And I get to another Weather Ball, and this is going to be enough to KO, and that is going to be a great game. Very well played to my opponent. Pretty close one. That Swampert, a little bit scary, but we're able to take that one. With a somewhat tough lead, right? We do have the Ice Beam, so Pidgeot is manageable, but still. Okay, moving on to Kommo-o. So Kommo-o is interesting because they're doing a lot with Dragon Tail and Dragon Claw. The thing is, we do double resist in close combat, so we know I know they're not going to throw close combat, Dragon Claw coming out. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw the Ice Beam right now. And Ice Beam is not going to be enough to KO, but we'll take that damage. And, okay, totally fine. My opponent is going to throw in CMP, so I don't throw right away because I anticipate that. And I let this go because I know it's not going to be enough to KO me. And I'm going to go ahead and throw the Ice Beam. Oh, not the Ice Beam, Shadow Ball, excuse me. Just in case they wanted to catch on like a Walloring or something something that resisted Ice. So I bring in my Scrafty after that Glorious Stunfisk comes in. And I'm just going to go ahead and boost my attack up. So I'm going to go ahead and go for this Power Punch right now. Totally fine. My opponent going to go ahead and throw an attack. It's going to be an Earthquake. I do go ahead and shield it. I don't want to take that damage. And I'm going to be able to count it down. Very nice. Very nice indeed. In comes Kommo-o. Going to go ahead and throw that Power Punch. Hoping this is enough to KO. Is it enough to KO? It is not, but one more counter will pick up that knockout. You'll love to see it. And in comes Shadow Swampert. All I'm going to do is just boost up my attack, right? The counters are going to be adding up. So obviously my opponent doesn't want to shield the Power Punch, but they're going to have to at some point. Look how much damage those counters are doing. I'm just going to throw the Power Punch. My opponent's going to know it's a Power Punch. They have to shield it. I'm going to go ahead and protect myself. Might as well. I knew it was going to be a Hydro Cannon, but I'm going to go ahead, throw this Power Punch. And my opponent has to shield that. We get another counter, and I tried to catch, not successful, so my opponent does get a lot of fun there. So that wasn't great on my end, but that's okay, because I know yes, an Earthquake will KO me, but we have a Alolan Ninetales, so I'm going to bring that in, and I'm going to be able to Powder Snow down. Even this attack is not going to KO me, as we've seen previously, so I can take a Hydro, and we're going to be able to take that game. But, you know, perhaps I shouldn't have tried to catch, but other than that, we're going to be able to win. Okay, moving on. Venusaur. This is terrible because we have Scrafty, which doesn't really like Venusaur either, but I'm going to go ahead and bring in Scrafty. My opponent is staying in, but they farmed up so much energy and bring in Talonflame. Not looking too good for me, but I'm going to be able to throw the Foul Play. So I do get off this Foul Play. See my opponent shields. Of course not. They do not. So I'm going to be able to get off another one. Now, if they don't shield, I could potentially shield and farm down. So my opponent knows this, and they will go ahead and shield. My opponent going to go ahead and fire off an attack. I let it go, expecting the Flame Charge. It is the Flame Charge. And my opponent will go ahead and throw an attack. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and shield this, because if I throw the Foul Play, they might want to shield and we'll get both shields. So I'm going to go, and then maybe we can farm down with Jellicent and go for an Ice Beam against Venusaur. My opponent will not shield, so I'm going to be able to take that. Scrafty going to be able to beat Talonflame. In comes Venusaur. Still kind of tricky because that Venusaur, remember, they charge up a lot of energy. So Charizard's coming in. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my Jellicent, which is a good matchup against the Charizard because Blast Burn is resisted and Dragon Claw not the strongest move in the game. We do see that coming out right now. And so my goal here is to farm up almost enough. You can't farm up back to back, but to farm up enough for almost two. Throw the Shadow Ball, KO the Charizard, and then throw the Ice Beam at the Venusaur to get the shield. But my opponent will go ahead, or do a lot of damage. My opponent will go ahead and throw. I do get off this Shadow Ball, not expecting the shield, but my opponent actually does shield this one. So I'm going to be able to get to this Shadow Ball right now. This Shadow Ball will be enough to KO, and then I have to switch out immediately. My opponent is out of energy, but we know, or not out of energy, out of shields. They have plenty of energy, but we know they have a lot of, we know they have a lot of energy. I know Sludge Bomb is not going to KO. Just in case they want to debate, I called that one, but at the end of the day, it didn't really matter. This is going to be a Sludge Bomb. I'm going to go ahead and shield that. I do throw the Weather Ball, and This weather ball is going to connect. Obviously not going to be enough to KO. I do want to make another one, and I do make another one before they can get to a frenzy play. And we're going to be able to win that. Despite the bad lead, despite the secondary matchup, we're still going to be able to win that, and that's going to be a great game. Very well played to all of my opponents. This team did really well for me, and it's a team I've used in the past. It's a very powerful team, and if you have the Exo Candy, I highly recommend it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye.